Thad Snyder, Johnson County. First of all, I want the plexiglass back to protect my health, please. You guys spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of our money to put plexiglass all over the county to stop a respiratory virus from attacking us. You spent millions on masks and lockdowns. You cost people their jobs, their businesses, and now you're raising our taxes. You have mismanaged our money, and now you want more of it. That's insane. You gave a $225 million tax break to an international corporation to build batteries in our county. What do we get for that? There's billions of dollars. Charlotte, you could probably tell me how many under tax incentive financial districts. 3?
$93.5 million.
$93.5 million. Go get it from them. The developers that you don't charge, that you sell 99-year bonds that they're never going to pay back. Go get it from them. But instead, you're going to price out. You can laugh all you want, Peg. Making $200,000 a year after resigning in disgrace from Wyoming as the prosecutor, as our chief legal counsel. Peggy makes more than the president of the United States. Our county manager makes more than the Penny, whatever, it doesn't matter. Makes more than the president of the United States. That's insane. This young lady who lost her home, she's talking about the strife of trying to get aid from you. And she wants a bigger budget so that you can waste it and do a terrible job with it. She needs help. Absolutely, she needs help. And you're doing a terrible job of it. Mental health would be a lot better in this county, and you wouldn't have to spend more on it if you didn't tax people out of their homes. If they didn't have to spend all their money to buy food and could go out and actually go to Nick and Jake's like that lady suggested. There are over 200 people, correct me if I'm wrong, that make over $100,000 a year that work for Johnson County. Over 4,000 employees in a county of 600,000 people, and you can't find ways to cut? How much money do we have to throw at the air to change the climate? How much more do you need? Are you just burning our tax dollars at home to stay warm? Reserves? $500 million in reserves for the unknown? I know you're going to try to spin up COVID again. We all saw you wearing the masks a couple weeks ago. We get what's coming. It's not going to work this time. And lastly, we absolutely see what you're all doing with the sheriff and the budget. We get it. We know you're trying to defund him. It's not going to work. It's absolutely not going to work. We're going to get to the bottom of the election fraud. You will all be held accountable in 2024 when Trump wins and the Department of Justice changed back to a rational and sane Department of Justice. I'm going to take all that evidence and I'm going to go directly to the U.S. attorney and I'm going to present them all the fraud that you were a part of. Good luck with that.
Wow, 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 wow. Was that guy great or was that guy great? That guy was great. And you know what? I loved his shirt. That was a great shirt. I want to try to see if I can find where that shirt is. I want to buy a shirt just like that. Concerned Citizen, Johnson County, Kansas City. Folks, what the heck is going on in some of these huge counties? In red parts of the country. It's like a blueberry. It's like a blueberry pimple in a sea of red. But these are huge, huge, huge Democratic counties. And this is what they're doing. They are absolutely taxing people to death. But they're giving huge corporations tax breaks. Just like the gentleman said, giving 99-year bonds that you know that they'll never pay back. Yet you've got citizens that are losing their homes because of policies that you put in place during the Wuhan virus, COVID-19. That literally shut down businesses, cost people their jobs, cost people their livelihoods. And now you're trying to see if you're going to bring that thing back? That's what you're trying to do? You got to hand it to this guy, a true America First patriot, folks. I mean, absolutely went after the board right there. Well-organized speech. I mean, talking about the amount of waste of money and resources in spending money for plexiglass to fight against a respiratory virus. I mean, incredible. And how much money, folks? In certain areas, I can certainly see you're putting it in hospitals, you're putting it, in laboratories, you're putting it in those, healthcare centers or whatever. But I've seen plexiglass basically put like in a supermarket with a pole and a plexiglass that's 2 by 2. You know, what is that going to stop? What the heck is that going to stop? Just a complete waste of money. Then he talks about the amount of people that are working for Johnson County that are making over 6 figures a year in a county that he says has like what, 400,000 people in it? But you've got a few thousand people that are making, I mean, that kind of money? Is it any wonder why our school systems are so decrepit and falling apart when you've got teachers and union members and others that are just making an unbelievable amount, but they're not doing anything? They call those rubber rooms in New York City where they have teachers that have been put on probation because they're not teaching properly. They don't know what's going on. They don't have a clue as to what's happening, or they've been convicted, no, maybe not convicted, but they've been charged with indecency with a minor or taking advantage of a student or doing whatever things. They go to a place, they call them rubber rooms or whatever. They still get paid money. They go there, they read the newspaper, they watch TV, they do whatever the heck they want. They get everything there. They just get paid, but they're just not teaching or near students. But that's the power that these unions have to do that. Then he talked about the fact, oh, he went after that one lady who was laughing and he called her Peg. Then they corrected her and said it's Penny. She said he's making $200,000 there as a chief legal counsel. And he goes, well, you're the one that, I guess something must have happened to her back in the state of Wyoming where she had to leave. He already knew that. That was great. Basically use a velvet glove, okay, to her. And then when they basically corrected him and said that, or somebody said her name is Penny, he goes, whatever, who gives a crap? And then he says that once President Trump gets reelected into office, he said he is going to collect all the evidence, because what are they doing now? Because they're trying to defund the sheriff. And this is what we hear all the time, don't we, from the Democrats? From all of their people that come out onto the media platforms, onto the alphabet networks, and they say, we never said defund the police. No, we never said that. And then you go back and you play the tape, and there it is. We want to defund the police. But they come out and they lie. Or they said, we didn't really, it's not defund. We want to reallocate the money. And in many of these instances where they did defund the police or they did fire some officers, in many instances, Minneapolis, I think they said like there was a county or someplace where half the police force or almost all the police force in a small town said, that's it, we're done, we're gone. And then the citizens realized that what the heck are we doing here, and reinstituted the budget for them, but a little bit too late. Now they're, trying to climb out of the hole that they dug. And this gentleman basically said it himself. He said that I'm going to take all the evidence and present it to, the DOJ, so we get to the bottom of all of this fraud that's being perpetrated with our money and the waste of taxpayer dollars. And that's what needs to be done, folks. The accountability. There need to be attorneys out there, conservative attorneys that are willing to take these cases on pro bono, or just, whatever these people can afford, and then basically charge these people, these board members, either school board members or county board members, and literally hurt them where it's going to hurt, and that is in the financial pocket, in their wallets, to personally sue them for whatever whatever laws that may have been broken. In many cases, when we're talking about these books that are out there, pornography that's being taught in schools or shown in schools or whatever, you need to go in there with statutes that you've got and basically say, you know what, this is pornography and you are contributing to a delinquency of a minor, and here's what we're charging you with. Or if you've got the evidence that there's fraud being committed by a board in terms of wasting of taxpayer dollars, you need to basically go legally. That's the way this is going to stop. One person at a time, one county at a time, going across the United States of America, starting off. And there's so many of these videos that are out there, folks, of people like this, of this gentleman here that basically says his piece, but besides just saying something, he's willing to go ahead and just not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and follow us. You all know what to do. My final thought is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.